Good day. My name is Alexis Naranjo. I'm going to be talking about a case study evaluation, which is our number 4, and it is regarding Merck and Company. This is for my legal, ethical, and social values of business course with Professor Hiram Pass. To begin, Merck & Company is a large corporation that focuses in the development and innovation of products and services that aim to the health, wellness of humans as well as animals all over the world. John W. Merck, the CEO of the company, tells us that their main interests are focused on the aid that they provide the ones who use their products, rather than the profits that they make. He says that if they're making profits, then that's an extra, that they've never asked for them, but that they are grateful. However, that is not their main focus. Their main focus is to give and provide innovation in drugs that enhance our health. They are a global healthcare company with over 125 years of experience. However, it is hard for me to believe that they're not interested in their profits. I believe that every company should, even if it's secondary, but it still should matter. Though I am asked to consider myself as a high-level administrator to Merck, in order to provide my thoughts on whether or not research should continue to develop on a drug that cures a terrible disease called river blindness. The disease originated in mostly Africa because through a fly who bit a human being in the arm, the bite of the fly hitting the bloodstream caused it to create larvae, which are tiny worms inside of the person's body. The larva then reproduces, causing terrible itching in the skin, discoloration, and even blindness. Eventually, the worms go all over the body and even into the eyes, causing the blindness. The illness is so severe that it's been registered. We've had registered cases where they can't stand the itching because it's so bad that they decide on committing suicide rather than to continue on with this itching, this uncomfortness. The worms can grow up to 30 inches long, and it's just a terrible disease. It was detected back in 1893. It has not had a cure. It did not have a cure until many years later. The disease spread worldwide, specifically in the poorest countries of Africa. The underprivileged populations of these countries use rivers as their main source of water, for drinking water, for washing their clothes, for everything. So they use the rivers. The fly that produces this larva within the body tends to mate around rivers, especially river banks, where these individuals go to get their water. And that is the way that the disease is spreading. In 1978, Dr. Roy Vagelos, then head of Merck's research labs, met with Dr. William Campbell. He was a senior researcher in parasitology, where Dr. Campbell let Dr. Vagelos know that Dr. Vagelos was the head of research for Merck at that time, so he let him know that one of the projects that they were working on was considered to could potentially be used as a cure to river blindness. Just an FYI, it takes around 12 years and around, or if not more, $200 million to complete a research for a new drug. So the issue with continuing the research is not the drug, is not who's going to take it, is not nothing like that. It's the fact that the people that have this disease cannot afford the drug. They literally cannot afford even clean water. So how could they be able to afford a drug that sells for thousands and thousands of dollars. It's just not a possibility for them. So it is my place to give my recommendation on whether or not the research should continue. Because I am me, and I'm very for life. I think that it should. I think that if there's a possibility that you can make a difference, and if there's a possibility that you can cure someone, you can give them the cure to something that is almost close to death, then why wouldn't you? That's the way that I think. However, I must place myself in the administrator, a high-level administrator that I'm being considered as for Merck. And I need to look at the profits. I need to look at the costs, everything, all the money that is going to go into this research. Usually when you do an investment of this kind is because you're going to get a return that you'll be profitable, and that you can use to continue on your business, which is why as an administrator I would say that the research should not continue, because if we proceed with this research, we are barely going to get any profits from it. It will be a tremendous loss financially, because most of our capital would go to it. But then again, I continue to, because I can't keep up with myself about me saying no, this research should not continue. So I go into their website and I see that what Mr. John Merck, yes, Mr. John W. Merck is saying in regards to profits not being primordial. I go into their website and I see that they're promoting how they're all for health, that they're all to get us better, to innovate and to make a difference in the world. And if this is so, and I really hope it is, then I think that if these are the values and these are the things that Merck and company actually follows, then they should do the research. I know I'm kind of contradiciéndome, pero I do think that they should do the research, because if their values say that if they follow these values and they are strongly rooted within their company, then they should continue the research. However, I would recommend that we keep costs at the lowest if possible, that we try to minimize any personnel that is not fully needed, just to keep our costs low, because we know that we're not going to get a large return on this investment. Thank you.